Have you ever wondered why some games spend years in development, constantly changing, adding new features, and then, oof, they either get cancelled or launch as a broken mess? That's feature creep and scope creep. And they've killed more games than bad graphics, bad AI, and bad writing ever could. Today we're gonna break down what these two monsters are, how they destroy games, and why so many developers fall into their trap. I am the Duck, and let's talk about games. Alright, let's start with feature creep. Sounds harmless, right? Just adding a few cool things to make the game better? Wrong. Feature creep happens when devs keep adding more and more features, even when the game is already deep in development. What started as an, oh, let's add a crafting system, turns into, okay, now we need to add materials, UI, and a tutorial. Wait, now we have to have survival mechanics to justify crafting. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if NPCs had dynamic AI that reacts to crafting? And just like that, what should have been a tight, focused game becomes a bloated, chaotic mess. Feature creep happens for a few reasons. Devs get carried away, they keep thinking of cool ideas, and they just can't say no. Trends change mid-development, suddenly Battle Royale is the hot thing, and now every game needs a PvP mode. Sometimes stakeholders demand more. Investors and publishers push for extra features, perfectionism. The devs keep tweaking, polishing and adding, but never finishing. An example? No problem. Let's look at Cyberpunk 2077. Originally planned as a RPG-heavy experience, but then feature creep kicked in. Car combat, life path choices, hacking system. So much was added that many features ended up half-baked or cut entirely. Now, if feature creep is about adding features, then scope creep is when the entire vision of the game expands way beyond the original plan. Imagine a small studio working on a 2D pixel RPG with a tight story-driven campaign. But then, oh, let's make it open world. Actually, let's add a fully voiced acted dialogue. Hold on, what if we had a real-time combat instead of turn-based? Oh, and a fully procedural world with infinite quests. Suddenly, the game isn't what they started with, and the team has to keep reworking everything from scratch. This is how games get stuck in development hell. They keep changing, keep growing, and never actually get finished. Example? Again, Star Citizen. Started as a space sim, but scope creep added FPS combat, planetary exploration, massive multiplayer features, and more. Now it's been, what, over a decade in development hell with no clear release date in sight? Speaking of games stuck in development hell, what is your favorite example for a game that never got finished? Drop in the comments, I wanna hear what you think. Both of these destroy games in different ways, but the results are always the same. Longer development times, what was supposed to be a 2-year project turns into 5+ years, massive budget overruns, more money spent. Some studios run out of funding before they even finish. Technical debt and bugs. Adding new features on top of existing systems create bugs, conflicts, and performance issues, such as spaghettification of code. Burnout and crunch culture. Devs have to work insane hours to keep up with constant changes, leading to burnout, resignations, or even studio closures. Bloated, unfocused games. Instead of a polished experience, you get a Frankenstein game with too many mechanics that don't even fit together. So if you're a game developer, or just a curious gamer, how do you avoid this trap? Have a clear game design document, define the vision early and stick to it, use an MVP approach, ship a solid core game first, then expand later, set strict milestones. Don't add new features if they push back deadlines. Learn to say no. Not every idea belongs in a final game. Listen to feedback, but don't overreact. Players will always ask for more, but sometimes less is better. At the end of the day, feature creep and scope creep aren't always bad. They come from a place of passion and ambition. But if developers don't control them, they can turn a game project into an unfinishable nightmare. So next time you see a game get delayed, overcomplicated, or stuck in development hell, take a guess. Was it feature creep, scope creep, or both? Thank you for your time. This was the Word Duck. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye.